Right, greetings to all and sundry, Chancer, North Wales here. Just a quick update, and we'll be having a quick discussion about what's been brought recently, visits to Telford, and some shout outs to some gentlemen who are newish to the YouTube modelling community. So firstly, I'll begin with a massive thank you to all the responses, feedbacks, comments, views of my posting of the MI36 build. Very much appreciated. The feedback went down a treat. As I said, it was a fun build, made a nice change, and it also went down well when I took it along to the Chester Model Club. So around some of the shows in the UK, like Cosford, and I think what else we're going to. Maybe there's a show in Bradford we'll be going to. It'll be appearing on the modelling tables. I'm probably a crew. So if you get to any of those shows, you'll probably see the that particular beast there. Right. Now on to, I suppose, a discussion of what's been bought lately. I'll focus, for the purpose of this video, on my modelling stuff. Yes, I'm still feeding my resin addiction by buying more dystopian wars bits and pieces, but I will spare the non-war gamers amongst you the details of that, certainly until I sort out a better camera, which I think is one of the goals for around Christmas, at least to get slightly higher resolution webcam. So I was at November 11th, 10th, 11th, I was at IPMS Scale Model World in Telford, the large show there. I think, I have to say, absolutely brilliant show. They've improved the layout, felt far less crowded, but it was still very busy. Some incredible work on display. I've got plenty of photos, but I will also say that about half of them were taken on my camera, on my phone, because I ran out of memory on my camera. So when I do put it together, there's going to be a distinct difference in photo quality, so I apologise for that. Hopefully that'll that collation of pics will go be online before the end of next week. Hopefully by Monday, Tuesday I'll have some more time on my hands. But anyway, so what was bought at Telford? Well, as you can imagine, as well as all these wonderful shows, all the wonderful models on display, there's a large number of traders. Keeping to my principle of only buying things with red stars, the main reason being, if I didn't, I'd buy even more of the blood. I'd even buy even more kits. So let's take a look. Alright, top of the list from AM Models is a KA31, the AEW version of the Camov. Yes, yet another Camov to add to my collection. I've had a look at this kit. Okay, it might not be refined as its Hobby Boss the equivalent, but you get quite a nice bag full. The sprues are somewhat chunky and the plastic is soft, but the detail is certainly there. Yes, there is a fair bit of flash that will need cleaning up. Nice thing to see was that cabin door being open. I cut it open on the Revell Camov and created a lot more work for myself, but that's a nice touch of detail. So I think this should build up into a nice one. It's definitely going to be a project for further into next year. I must admit, I've got another AM model kit in my stash. This here shows the under fuselage rotating radar assembly. You can see AM models, fairly thick sprue gates, certainly not as refined, quite a few sink marks, but should still build up into a pretty decent kit. I certainly like the cockpit detail, and they've captured some things missed out on from other kit manufacturers, so I think if you spot this one, it's worth picking up, or some of the other AM model kits. Their closer ties with the Soviet Union and Eastern Europe means I think they get better reference access. So yes, another Russian helicopter to do. I'll be building it gears down with the radar folded. I'll make for an interesting subject. Now, what else? I should explain, I'm more inclined to have a look at what I can get on a bargain basis. And some of these cheaper kits, yeah, I'll snap it up and see what it comes out as. So what we have here is a MiG-21R. Now, I got that particular version because it is meant to be the photographic reconnaissance version from a company called Condor. Ooh. I think the key thing to say about this is I think Condor and CoPro, which is from another kit I bought, must be related, sharing same molds, or do some kind of deal, because these sprues do look like CoPro MiG-21 sprues. Again, there is some flash. Molding quality isn't bad. It is recessed panel lines. A pretty basic kit. And I was somewhat disappointed to discover that the sprues for the PR pods were missing, which I must profess I was not entirely chuffed with. So what you basically have here is a pretty much bog standard MiG-21. Show you some of the other sprues here. The cockpit certainly isn't going to win any prizes for detail. Again, with a little bit of extra work, should build up into a reasonable kit. So, bit miffed that the PR pods are missing. But that said, they'll come out as a standard MiG-21 fighter. Not sure how it will compare with the FX1. Probably a bit better because I know the FX1 raised diesel and a very old kit. Now, something a little bit more pleasing. The CoPro MiG-21 two-seater. I'll probably be building this one in Czech Air Force markings. I haven't opened up this bag, but you can see that the sprues are pretty much the same. I would probably say they're actually a bit more complete. Having a look at the instructions, they've certainly done a little bit more with the cockpit than was with the other one. So not a complicated kit by any stretch of the imagination. Fairly straightforward build. Probably need a front wheel well opening up a bit. The seats will need some work. Harnesses added. You know, a little bit of detailing and tarting up here and there. But it's always nice to have a two-seater and a single-seater. I must admit, the decal sheet is rather nice. So it appears you have Czech Air Force and Slovak Air Force here, and the Libyan Air Force with the green markings. So I'm going to enjoy this. Nice range of colour schemes, and nice to see a colour printed decal sheet. It is tempting, I must admit, to do the metallic finish Czech Air Force there. But the Slovak ones are rather nice as well. So, all credit to GoPro. Maybe not be the most advanced kit, but for under what was it, the £7 mark, you can't complain. In terms of cost, I mean, both of these kits, and this what £6-7 mark, and this was in about, the Camel 31 was in about the £12-13 mark. So I'm not complaining there. The final kit that I bought, yeah, something else with red stars, was the Maquette SU-25B 2-seater frogfoot. I have to say, how can I put it this way? A nice box art, and it does rather go downhill from there. Recessed panel lines, okay, but it does rather look they were sort of recessed by somebody using a chisel. Nothing subtle here. Cockpit detail, I will say, is utterly non-existent. What this may be accurate on is profile. Having built the Revell one, where it's understood that the kit details were taken off a prototype rather than a service frogfoot, I can but hope that the profile and form of this will be a bit better. But when I first opened the box, I must admit I did cringe a bit. The packaging is basic to say the least. Everything just rattling around, not even put in a bag, and the canopy was quite literally, as is seen here, on its own. The decal sheet is for one variant. I must profess to not being the most optimistic about the quality of these decals. Again, for about £7 for a 2-seater frogfoot, I suppose I shouldn't complain. Reasonable selection of ordnance, but to get anything meaningful, particularly out of the cockpit, there's going to be some serious need for some scratch building here. The wheel wells, again, all but non-existent. It's sort of built on the assumption that the gear doors have closed up, mostly closed up, after the gears deployed. And I think opening them up would involve some pretty hefty surgery. Not sure when I'll build this one. I'm not sure how long it'll stay in the stash for, but it's definitely for the time being a stash kit. For that said, it's still a nice simple one, and I can't complain about the value for money. Now, other stuff. That was a kit. All told, I'm not arguing for having spent, well, 4 kits for under £25, which to our American colleagues that would be about the $38 mark. So reasonable value for money, and I think if we look at it, relate the cost per time and pleasure, it shouldn't be too bad. So what's the other thing I bought? Well, the other aspect was some bits and pieces for my airbrush. A week before Telford, I had undercoated my MI36, and I was giving the usual business of cleaning it, stripping it down to clean out, and I was replacing the nozzle, and I managed the little nozzle that the needle goes directly into as opposed to the larger nozzle. This place is a bit tangled of cables. That is this little nozzle, brass nozzle in here, and I sheared it. Second time I've done that. So that rather put a stop to my airbrushing. Anyway, as it was, Telford was only a week away. So I headed off to the airbrush company that were there, and the first thing on my list was some replacement nozzles. And I did buy myself a spare one. So, little nozzle there. So of course, if you're there and you're poking around, let's get a few other airbrush bits and pieces. So I did pick up a little set of fine wire brushes. Can this be seen? Oh, there we go. That's more like it. Fine wire brushes, a little set of them. You can be seen here. Oh God, sorry, a bit of trouble. I'm sorry guys, I'm having trouble with my sense of orientation here today. Anyway, little wire, a set of fine wire brushes for poking around inside your airbrush to get stuff out of it. Something else was, and this caught me by surprise, that one of the guys from the Chester Model Club pointed it out to me. It's a this little needle. It's like a needle with a flat side to it, for once you strip down your airbrush, for poking inside and just cleaning out any built up paint residue and gunk. That comes with a little cap. Again, that was from the airbrush company. And finally, from those guys, there was a bottle of airbrush cleaner. This stuff, just to help blast things through a bit. So, does the job reasonably well. Once you finish airbrushing, give it a quick squirt through with this and just leave it to sit. I will certainly be, once I get through it, be looking to replace it, or keep an eye out how the shows. Yeah. So that was Telford. That was my purchasing at Telford. For those of you in the UK, Model Zone are currently doing 2 for 1 on their kits. To keep Christmas shopping for my family quite simply, on Thursday I had a little bit of time. So I took my eldest daughter into Chester, and we had a little rummage around. Chester had a bite to eat as well, and one thing we did also do was poke around Model Zone, picked up, just buy 3 kits, get the cheapest one free, and all I have to do now is give the kids, one to the wife, one to the eldest, one to the youngest, tell them to wrap them and mark them, you know, for me, whatever, bang them under the tree, and they don't have to do any worrying about thinking about Christmas shopping. It's neatly sorted out. So that's that side. So my family's Christmas shopping, I've done that for them. I think it would be a little bit churlish to do a review of those kits now. We'll wait and see what I'll be getting. Goodness knows. One other thing, and this was more than an off chance. I had to go. I was sent on one of the errands by my wife today to pick up, as it was, find some disposable pipettes, something to do with her job, and she needed some. Okay, fair dues. And I couldn't find any, but I did have a rummage around various art shops and that lot in Chester, and I did find at last a proper paintbrush stand. So rather than holding them upright in a jar, you can holding them bristles down, so any water after you've cleaned your brushes doesn't flow down into the ferrule, but rather it drips down away. And that, coupled with brush cleaner, may help extend the life of these brushes even further. I must admit, I did try and take care of these things, and I've got many years of use out of a lot of these brushes, so I want to keep it that way. So that was rather nice, picked up for six quid while I was on a different errand. Right, that's the shopping news done. A couple of shout outs. It's been, in all fairness, a very good period for new faces amongst the modelling community on YouTube. So the first chap I'm going to call out is a fellow called Stephen Dawson, D-A-W-S-O-N, and his channel is by that name. He's posted some rather nice vids, some interesting work. His most recent one was he got a second-hand kit of a P51 that had some parts missing, and in all fairness to him, I think he built quite a decent wreck out of it. So he's worth looking up, Stephen Dawson. Again, if people want to look at my subscriber list, he'll be on amongst that lot. Another chap who's been churning out some good videos lately, a chap by the name of Holden Scale Models. His primary project has been building a 1/72nd scale Japanese Raiden World War II fighter, which he's made a jolly nice job on. So look out for him, take a look on his channel. He's just posted a review of the AFE Club 1/35th scale Huey Cobra, which is, you know, it was a well discussed kit. So a chap by the name of Holden, H-O-L-D-E-N, Scale Models. A new guy to the community who hasn't posted anything for 2 weeks, but I'd love to see more of his vids because I thought they were really promising. It's a chap called Colin Denson, C-O-L-I-N-D-E-N-S-O-N. English chap, interested in 1/72nd scale World War II. Posted a couple of intro videos, and let's encourage this chap to see if he starts posting a bit more, and I'm looking forward to how his project's been progressing. The fourth chap I'm going to mention is a chap by the name of Ion, I-O-N 757. Many of you probably know of him. He's fairly well established on the community. I think he's a brilliant diorama builder. In particular, his dioramas involving water, so say a German assault boat powering away, are bloody nice. So if you're not subscribed to him, look him up, Ion757. Some very nice, very nicely composed dioramas. So that was 4 shout outs. It's been a very good time for the videos recently, and it's been a pleasure to see people's work. The established regulars, Coladido, bad Grendels, Hamley car baracas, basic modelling, and making models again. Continue to post videos of ever improving quality and presentation that leaves my own rather low resolution efforts somewhat lagging. Just great to see it out there, guys. Beats the dire popular TV that my family are inclined to watch. You know, I'm a celebrity, get me a career. Britain's got absolutely no bloody talent, and all those brain-numbing attempts, productions that they inflict upon the poor general public. Believe me, if Sky had a regular modeller's show, that would be worth watching. If the BBC, some of you, if you're old enough, may remember, ran for a while, Scale Model World. Was it something like, yes, it was not Scale Model World, it was Model World, back in the 1970s on BBC One on a Sunday morning, in the days before satellite telly, when everything was still analogue, when we still had bus conductors. And no doubt, I think that channel can probably, though some of those shows can probably be found lurking somewhere on YouTube. Some decent chap has probably dug out videos he made of them or whatever, and recorded them, but there's really not much for us, apart from, for a while, on some of the Discovery networks, stuff that tended to focus on radio control models, but YouTube is TV community for modelers, and it is very much appreciated. And quite frankly, the various efforts of the so-called popular media gurus, you can keep them. I'd rather watch a guy talking about his kits than some caterwauling young lady briefly flashing her bits. Give me plastic kits any day. So for now, keep building, and there'll be some more projects coming along here. Yes, I'm painting more dystopian wall stuff. Some, hopefully, next week we start cracking on with massaging a bit more of the polystyrene. So till then, keep safe, keep modelling, guys. Chancellor, North Wales, signing out.